all of those things make my little brain go, ah! And then my bones want to leave. That's the best way I can explain it, is my whole body just is like, hates what's going on and it doesn't want to be here anymore, and it's trying to evacuate with or without the rest of me. Hi, I'm Conor Bryan. I'm on the autism spectrum, and today we're going to be talking about sensory overload. Did you like the little hand thing? Said too much? Nailed it.
Kind of crazy eyes at the end.
Nailed it. I am currently overstimulated. Sensory overload is like having an alarm clock going off in your body at all times. And then if you look into a light, like these bright ones here, or sometimes if somebody shuts a door real loud or talks at a decibel you weren't expecting, it's like being struck in the head with a bat that immediately triggers rage or sometimes sorrow. It just goes all over the place, pretty much across the board. What it's like when, for instance, my hearing is overloaded. You just start noticing sound a lot more, you know, like little background noises you wouldn't normally notice are sort of like more obtrusive than usual. That can be birds chirping. For me, it's usually dogs barking or people talking. It's like, ah. And as that sort of overstimulation begins to build and build, you become like, at least I personally become like progressively more irritated with whatever the source of those sounds is. I'll either try to like retreat away from those noises or politely ask the dog to go lay down. And then I'll stick like a snack in his mouth so that he's less likely to bark. And that's usually like A+. I find that works with people too. If you're getting really annoyed, somebody's talking really loud, you're just like, you want a piece of very chewy caramel? And then they've got to like work on that for a while and you can escape. Found out it does not work with tigers. Got a face. From like a vision perspective, it's usually my light sensitive days. Like I have to wear sunglasses just all the time, indoors, outdoors. I'll usually leave all the lights in the house off. It's really terrible when someone comes in and just like flips the light on and then, hello, bright corona of the surface of the sun. Living with light sensitivity is essentially squinting most of the time. If you zoom in, you can see my very thick crow's feet that are largely due to the fact that my eyes are rarely fully open. I usually get headaches when the bright light's on me often. Smell, boy, I have a strong sense of smell. And when something stinks, particularly garlic, and people that eat a lot of garlic are both very, hit me like a freight train. I hate brushing my teeth. I still do it because I'm a responsible adult. But I hate brushing my teeth because the smell of peppermint or mint in general is just totally overwhelming, and it makes my bones feel weird. Don't know really how else to describe that. It makes my whole body go, ugh. I have a similar reaction to the sound of ice. When I'm a little overstimulated, something about the sound of ice, it could be like a bag of frozen peas, it makes my whole body react in revulsion. I don't like being touched in general. I have a very sensitive, I don't know the word for touch. That's gonna drive me nuts. I will be Googling that as soon as we're done here. Touch of any kind from something that I'm not controlling immediately puts me into overstimulation mode. I just don't like being touched. Strangers who walk up and pat you on the back, you know, tell you to have a good day. I love you. I love the energy that you're putting out, but please don't touch me, stranger that I don't know, and put your hands on me. A bug just crawled on my leg. Bug, you're exactly showing me that's what I'm talking about. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I get a sense of overstimulation from that, which is weird because one of my major stims things that you do to kind of bring yourself down from that feeling of being overstimulated is I usually touch my forearms. My forearms are really sensitive to touch, and so doing that sort of resets the rest of my brain. ASMR. Like that, you know, he's just like, yeah, it's me. I am awkward. Don't let me be touched. Ashley's the only one who's allowed to. She's exclusive rights. I'm usually wearing sunglasses. I'm usually squinting really hard. I'm like reacting to noise. So I feel like, at least in my jobs, perhaps in the morning when I'm overstimulated coming in, probably looks like I'm a little hungover, but I'm like, nope, don't drink, just autistic. tired, a little overstimulated. I have noticed not getting enough sleep. Some days I just start out overstimulated, which is super fun. If I try to like tell somebody like, hey, I'm overstimulated, can we tone it down a little? Rarely goes over well, even for the people who know that I'm autistic and know that I struggle with being overstimulated often. Most of the time, for instance, if it's like coworkers or if it's in like a public space, people are just really irritated that you're talking to them. I was fiddling with the string on my sleeve. I'm sorry, it was driving me nuts. Stimulation, small little string, I can feel it. I think a lot of people misunderstand as just being like needy, for lack of a better word, like wanting special treatment. And I'm just like, well, just having a hard time existing right now. Usually when you kind of explain what's going on, I find in more modern times people have been a lot more accommodating. When I was younger, it was not quite so easy to explain, particularly before I had the actual autism diagnosis. People were just like, no. And then they turn the lights brighter. You're like, okay, I guess we could just be bitter about it. I think people take personally a lot when you tell them that they're overstimulating you. I have friends that talk loud and friends that talk fast, and I have friends that do both at once. And all of those things make my little brain go, ah! And then my bones want to leave. That's the best way I can explain it, is my whole body just is like, hates what's going on and it doesn't want to be here anymore, and it's trying to evacuate with or without the rest of me. You go, hey pal, could you like tone it down a little? And people are like, oh, what, I'm too loud for you? I'm like, yeah, I mean, yes, if we're being perfectly honest, but no, I was just asking you to be a little quieter because you're being super loud. People seem to think I'm either some sort of cave-dwelling troglodyte and or moody teenager, and that I like to keep the lights off at all times if I can. I would live in a world of perpetual darkness because I can see very well in the dark because my eyes are very light sensitive, which also just means I can prevent getting headaches if I just leave all the lights off. Some people are a little more sensitive to stimulus than the rest of us. Things that you can do to help: if you see somebody constantly wincing at the bright lights and the noise around them, or if they're like gagging on a smell nearby, maybe just, you know, talk softly to that person. You could maybe turn the lights down a little bit, or you're listening to loud music with your roommate and your roommate seems constantly irritated. Perhaps turn your music down, or don't microwave your fish at lunch in the office. Gregory. I don't even know a Gregory. It's just funny. You can use that. It's one of those things that like when you're in it, it's just like unpleasant, and there's not really much other people can do for you. You just kind of like gotta ride it out and try to get somewhere quiet. I have a pair of little wireless Bluetooth earbuds. At any and all times that I can avoid noise coming in through something that's outside of my control, I will pop those puppies in. I pretty much always wear sunglasses. Sunglasses is the bee's knees, man. You just slap those puppies on and most of the light, I got some big dorky aviators, you know, it just drowns most of the light coming in. If I feel like somebody's gonna touch me, I just dodge as quickly as I can out of the way, and then I give them the no-no square, you know. Don't touch me. If you live with sensory overload, sleep more, take naps, wear sunglasses, get some wireless earbuds, drink a lot of water, like a gallon a day. If you're drinking less than a gallon a day, you're probably dehydrated. Being dehydrated makes this whole business way worse. Stay hydrated, take naps, eat snacks. Conor Bryan wants you to snack and nap more. Drink some water, it's good for you. Nobody hydrates in this world. That's why you're all so cranky. And you don't nap enough. Nobody naps enough. I'll die on this hill. Boy, I feel like we really just got all the info we needed. Just brought it in here for a big group hug, which immediately made me uncomfortable because I don't like being touched. Thanks for watching. Stay mighty.